3 years ago, we was just talking about Ja Morant being the face of the league.
In all my years of being a basketball player in the NBA, I have never heard a go, yeah, trade me to the Wizards.
That is a defensive foul. Defensive foul.
Because he absorbed his on his face?
But ultimately, you can't just use your franchise for putting people in seats. You need production.
LaMelo, after a game, he yelled in the hallway, and I quote,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'll do this. Cheers. Give Starbucks a shout out.
I'll give Starbucks a shout out. Look at you go.
Get some free Starbucks cards.
I'm not sure the last time I ever heard you say that you were drinking coffee, Channing.
It's not coffee. Haha, green matcha.
Matcha. He's a matcha guy.
He's always been.
Yeah,
he's always been
matcha.
a quarter zipping matcha guy since like
Quarter
sixth
zipping
grade.
matcha, brothers.
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
Yeah, he's always been. What?
Yeah.
Quarter zip and matcha? All right.
Allie.
Are you joking?
No. Is that a thing?
It's a big thing.
Oh, I guess I need to get educated. But until then, I got some other things to educate y'all on. Welcome to this edition of Road Trippin. Richard Jefferson, Allie Clifton here in the Road Trippin studios. We've got Channing Frye, we've got Kendrick Perkins, so it is a full house, kind of. Yeah. And we're going to begin with some breaking news because I feel like
Hey, Allie's always a full house when I'm in the
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
The only thing I will say, Perk, is it takes a lot for me to not begin this episode with you and a social media post that your wife put out this morning. But breaking news in the NBA is going to trump it just for a second. So just know that we're coming to Vanity's Instagram story at some point before this podcast ends. But in the meantime, Shams posting just moments ago, for the first time, the Memphis Grizzlies are entertaining offers to potentially move two-time All-Star Ja Morant ahead of the February 5th NBA trade deadline. Sources tell ESPN. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Channing, we didn't hear from you the other day. We'll start with you.
I think it's exciting for both teams. I think the Memphis needs to move on, right? I think we're not getting the best version of Ja, obviously. We could say when you're not committed to the team or you feel like the team's not committed to you, it's hard to go out there and play your best. We've not seen it from people like Jimmy Butler or Anthony Davis or, I don't know, and Trae Young, anyone really asking to get traded. I think this season has been a real transitional season for a lot of players who are underperforming or have had an opportunity and realize that they're not that 1A. You can't win like that with these guys anymore. So they're getting new opportunities. So for me, hopefully, wherever Ja goes, he gets it somewhat right. We get the exciting Ja back, hopefully. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully there's a lot of hope. Hopefully he gets his act right. I think he's exciting. I think if he's going somewhere and he's not your 1A, I like him in that role. I like him not as your cultural leader where he's just going out there and playing and being exciting where he's the Austin Reeves to a Luka. Hopefully he gets that opportunity. But other than that, this was bad in Memphis. I just think Memphis needs to restart. But yeah, that's about it.
Perk?
Go ahead, Rich.
No, you got it. You got it, Perk. You got it. Fix your
No,
thing.
you got it.
I don't have any opinion on the matter. I don't have an opinion.
What you mean?
Richard,
Okay, well, you guys continue to argue and fight who goes next. I'll give you some more context here. Multiple teams per Shams are pursuing Morant in trade talks, and rival executives believe the Grizzlies would prioritize draft picks and young players in return. Morant, 26, is under contract with the Grizzlies through the 27-28 season. Memphis is considering multiple paths forward amid the emergence of several promising young players, including building around them and 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. The Grizzlies also remain open to continuing on with Morant as a focal part of their retool.
You can't have it both ways.
I don't believe any of that.
Hey, guess what, y'all? We're here. Now, Richard, you and I had an argument last episode, but here's why I agree with you. This is where we have a real problem with American athletes, right? On and off the floor. So we just watched Trae Young get traded to the Wizards. By the way, the Wizards had to give up absolutely nothing. No picks, no nothing. That was basically a salary dump for Trae Young. That was a salary dump for the Atlanta Hawks, basically. We're talking about a guy whose career average is like 25 and 10. The only other two people in the history of the NBA that averaged more assists than Trae Young, averaged more assists for their career is Magic Johnson and John Stockton. Okay? And you trade him away without getting any picks. Moving to Ja Morant. The Memphis, 3 years ago, we was just talking about Ja Morant being the face of the fucking league. Being the face of the league. And people, when we talk and we say, oh, hey, man, these European guys are coming in and they're taking over our league. They're not only taking over our league and accepting and setting the example on the floor, they're taking over our league and setting the example off the floor. Jokic, we don't have problems with him off the floor. Giannis, no problems with him off the floor. Luka, no problems whatsoever with him off the floor. But
Wemby.
Here we are with Wemby. But now it goes down the line. But now what's happening is we have so many in these next 3 to 4 years. They have so many franchise guys coming up through these drafts that teams are saying, I'm not fucking dealing with this bullshit. I'm not going to sit up here and have to max out a Ja Morant $200+ million and deal with this headache no more. When I can find me a promising young guy that's going to be a culture builder that's in the upcoming draft, or I could build around the guys that I got, Jaren Jackson Jr., Coward. Now, I will say this, I agree with Shannon that he do need to go somewhere where he's not the 1-8, right? I'm thinking Minnesota, maybe thinking Milwaukee might pull something pull a rabbit out the hat. You know what I'm saying? They may be acquired, but at the end of the day, this is a warning. If Luka could get traded, anybody could get traded. And all I'm saying is that Ja has to be very, very careful at this point. This is the warning shot that, hey, bro, after this, if you do get traded, your next destination, boy, you better walk through, you better tread light. You better, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. I'm just saying.
Does it show the value that Desmond Bane went for basically 5 picks and they gave away Trae Young, and we'll see what you get for Ja Morant? Think about what they gave up for OG Anunoby, what they gave up for Mikal Bridges, Drew Holiday, and you're telling me, yes, Trae Young is averaging these assists, but holy shit, how dry was that well that you had to call the Wizards and be like, what you got? They were like, well, we got, I got this for you. They go, we'll take it. Like, damn.
We're gonna get to that.
What does that say?
And we're gonna get
like
to
for your team.
And we're gonna get to the Trae news in just a minute. But first, before we move on, any reaction to the Ja?
Well, I'm not going to make it. Ja's a really talented player. He's in a tough situation. I look at this, if you look at through league history, players have been traded before. Great players. I know Luka is the most recent big name, but there's been surprise trades before. There's been different movement. I think a lot of times you look at the transition of a player moving on. J. Kidd was in Phoenix, great, gets traded to New Jersey, has 2 finals runs. The time moves on. Then they end up trading him to Dallas. So there can be a window of time where you move on where I don't think it's, I think the time in Memphis had long been over. And I think we're, firing your coach a month before the postseason, when your team's in the postseason, some of the things have seemed off. The amount of coaches that they've gone through in the last 7 years, even pre-Ja, right? You had Fizdale, you had Bickerstaff, you had Yeager, you had so many different guys over the course of this stretch. So I look at more of the instability in their franchise. Yes, is the market changed? Can you give up 5 picks with the new second apron and all the different? Can you do those things what they did for Rudy Gobert? No. Is Trae Young somewhat of a complex figure to figure out? Can you put around him? How do you want to play? That's for Trae, but for Ja, it's like he's proven, but he's got to get back to that level. And I truly believe this trade happens because they're like, are we going to offer them the extension? No, we're not going to offer them the extension. We're going to send them to some place where somebody most likely will. That's what it is. It's like Anthony Davis said he wasn't going to re-sign, so they had to trade him. And then he said, I'm only going here, so you better work out a deal there, because if you try and send me to Toronto, I'll do what Kawhi did. I'm going to play my 1 year out, and then I'm gone. So I don't look at this as like some like over-the-top thing. I think this is their contracts are up. Teams are saying like, hey, I think this has run its course. We've had a good 7-8 years. And before we sign you to an extension or lose you in free agency for nothing, we can't do that. So I don't look at this as like some like indictment. You know, Trae has to play better defense. Ja, it feels like he needs to get a little bit more re-engaged and locked in. Both of them are ultra-talented all-star level players, but their contracts are up. And so teams have to figure out what to do in those spaces.
Richard, what would you give if you're a GM and your owner says, I like Ja, make it work? What are you giving up for Ja Morant right now?
Well, it depends on what my assets are. If you give me a team, it's like, do I believe that Ja's worth a first-round pick? Yes, I'm going to ask for a first-round pick for Ja from a standpoint of if he does turn it around, he's a first, second All-NBA type player. So, and he's still, 27 years old. So there's a lot of different things that I would still look for. I would take a young player, a young, talented player, and some draft capital. That's what I would try and get for him.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with you, but that's just, I don't want to bash the dude, but, you know.
Man, Rich is so full of shit today, bro. Like, real talk, you so full of shit. Like, I think you want to bring this side of me up. Like, I don't know why you on this bullshit.
They're frozen
like,
on the screen, which makes it better.
You want to bring this side of me out. It's ridiculous, bro. You know good damn it well. You cannot compare when J. Kidd got traded compared to what's been going on in Memphis with Ja Morant. That is ridiculous.
I'm just giving examples, bro. I'm just giving examples. Oh, I'm just giving examples. What?
Now, I don't know, and here's the truth.
Remember when Darren Williams got traded from, was it Utah to the Nets? Do y'all remember that? Remember?
I know, but that was very different, Richard.
They're all different. Darren Williams was an All-NBA point guard.
That was Darren Williams and Jerry Sloan not seeing eye to eye. They chose Darren Williams over Jerry. Hear me out. But there was nothing going on with him outside the court. And Darren Williams is also one of the better guards in the leagues at the time. Ja Morant is not one of the better guards in the league right now. He is actually regressing instead of progressing. So you got a guy who history has shown has off-the-court issues. 2, gets coaches fired. And 3, is not getting better. So what are you giving up for this guy?
Okay, well then tell me what Ja... Okay, you just said all the bad things apparently about Ja. Tell me what is good about Ja. Tell me the upside about Ja. Tell me why you would want Ja on your team currently if you were trying to make a decision and what assets you would give up for him. Because we're not going to just sit here and be like, oh, he's X, Y, Z, this. And it's like, wait, there's another side to that coin of all the things that he is when he might be in a situation where they don't fire your coach like a month left to go in the season. That might affect like some of your energy. And like, yes, he, in my opinion,
okay. So he had no recollection of who if his coach being fired. He had nothing to do with it.
I'm talking about when they moved to the new system, when they started switching up, like the style of play started to adjust, and you could started to see the energy change, and that means that it's time to possibly start looking for a better situation. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't gotta get fired.
I think there's only 2 or 3 places you could put him, and you would say I could try and maximize the best out of him. And the first place is Miami.
The crazy part is you go on this bullshit ass rant about kids pressing and playing full court man to man when they up by 30, and then you say that's the problem with American athletes. But you want to address the problem at hand that's going on in the NBA right now.
No. What I don't do. Okay, I'll let you finish.
Hold on, time out. With a guy like Zion Williamson, who is probably who's on a non-guaranteed max contract. The first in NBA history. You want to address the fact that Trae Young just got traded for basically some fucking butt wipes and a box
I'll
of
address
clothes
every one of
and a
these things.
box
I'll
of
address
Clorox.
every one of these
You,
things.
you want
I'll address it all.
you want to address that Ja Morant is 26 years old, meaning that he's knocking at the door of starting his prime, and the Memphis Grizzlies are basically saying you're not it. That is the problem. Those are
Wait.
American.
I hear you, and I agree. And when I look at that, I can go to, I don't look at just the bad. First of all, the league is still whatever percentage of American players. And while the individuals, Trae Young is an undersized point guard, right? That makes it a little bit more difficult on the defensive end. That's his issue. I don't know about inside the locker room, but he's also proven that he has elite capability. Zion Williamson, he's got his own issues. Ja Morant, he's got his own issues. But for every one of those guys, I can also point to an Evan Mobley. I can also point to a Jaren Jackson Jr. I can also point to a Jason Tatum, a Jaylen Brown. I can also point to a Donovan Mitchell. I can point to these guys that are upstanding, locked-in players trying to be the best version of themselves. So while you want to point to 2-3 guys and say, we have an American basketball problem, that's fine. You can frame it as that. But for every one, I can point to 3 or 4 dudes that are locked in trying to be the best version of themselves. Right? I can point to an Austin Reeves that has elevated himself to a level. So it's like, I'm not going to just look at the negative and say, hey, we have a problem because of these 2-3 individuals that in any time period would have had issues doing what they're doing. Because I can point to enough players that are locked in. Now, as a whole, to get back to your point about USA basketball, the point that I was trying to make is this, is that other countries are training differently. We are monetizing and trying to play elite basketball before puberty and trying to make it seem like it's something to be impressed with when your 10-year-olds are the best versus teaching them high-level basketball IQ like they do over in Europe. So we can't keep looking at the Sheas and the Dylan Brooks in Canada and all how they're developing. They have as many people in the country as California does in this state. And they are developing basketball players because they have taken more of a European model with their structure. That is all I'm saying. So if you want to point to Zion, if you want to point to Ja, and you want to point to Ja, you want to point to other players, I can point to the Tatums and the Jaylen Browns and the Donovan Mitchells and the guys that are doing it the right way. There's enough of the guys.
Yes or no answer. Yes or no.
Told you how to address it.
Is Europeans taking over our game right now?
At the highest of levels, yes. At the mid to at the, let's say, the middle class to the lower class,
it was just
class,
yes or no. Yes or no. It wasn't. We didn't have to go with the train. Yes or no. All right.
We're good.
Wait, I answer my question.
Richard,
Yes
let
or
me
no?
answer my question.
Wait.
Let me answer your question.
What's your answer? Can I just for clarification, just for the community? What was your answer?
Yes.
They are? Okay,
Yes.
cool. But obviously, we're training killers at 12.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, but
Channing?
Yes or no?
Channing?
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't even think it's close.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't think it's
At
close.
the highest level, yes.
I'm rolling with Perk's question, and he asked for just a yes or no.
Yeah,
So
fuck
yes.
what he asked for.
I do. I care what he asks for. And so now we're going to take this conversation that started about the potential of Ja being moved to puberty before 14 to now the actual news that happened. Let's move on. Trae Young was traded to the Washington Wizards. Perk sat on this couch and kind of gave that to the world before it happened. In the middle of the Hawks game against the Pelicans, CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert heading to Atlanta. Trae leaves the Hawks as their all-time leader in assists and three-pointers made. He's also third all-time in assist points per game behind Magic and John Stockton. I do want to read the statement from Trae that he put out. Never thought I'd be typing this. Last few years weren't how I wanted them to be. Expectations that we created for ourselves, reaching heights that Atlanta has never reached before. Bringing a championship to Atlanta was always my goal. However, between the injuries, the setbacks, and situations that didn't make sense, we never truly got to see our full potential. The city that raised me and taught me so much will always be a chapter in this story. However, the pain of staying the same eventually outweighed the uncertainty of change. By the way, That's for life as well. Change is often met with fear, but I see it as another opportunity. I'm walking into this next chapter ecstatic with my head high and my eyes forward. It's time to see what's possible. When the support is real and the vision is clear, we move.
ChatGPT cooked.
Can you guys grade? I feel like I already know this, but can you grade this trade for each team, the Hawks and the Wizards? Perk, I'm starting with you.
For the Hawks, I give it an A. For the Wizards, I actually give it a B. No. For the Hawks, I give it an A because one, you had to get rid of Trae because your franchise and your future is Jalen Johnson, who's averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, and damn near 9 assists.
For the Hawks, I think this is B plus, right? I felt like, I was in Atlanta the last 6 years. I think Trae Young, the thing about it is like he is absolutely unreal to watch play basketball, and he is very talented and very good, but something was missing, the connection with himself and his team. And within the community, he was beloved, but then they were always like, we're expecting more, right? I think the Hawks, when you got a guy like Jalen Johnson, when you got, a filet mignon, that hamburger don't look the same. And I think Jalen Johnson gave them an identity that they can get behind. And they like the way that this team is looking and going and growing with the culture. For the Wizards, I think it's great. You put people in the stands, you ain't going to win shit. I mean, it's just the truth. You ain't winning shit, right? This isn't a championship move. This is to get a piece to build around, and you got to take a chance. For the Wizards, I think this is an A. Nobody wanted to play for the Wizards. In all my years of being a basketball player in the NBA, I have never heard a motherfucker go, yeah, trade me to the Wizards.
Gilbert got there, it was over.
Right. I mean, it's just not like they've had good teams. John Wall, draft. Bradley Beal, draft. I think Gortat might have got traded there or something like that. But, like, those teams are different. They were built through the draft. The Wizards need a change of scenery, and I think this is good. Trae is going to get them in games, but are they going to win? Hell no. Does this make them a top 4 team? Hell to the no. But are they going to be better than absolute dog shit? For sure.
Do the Wizards play him this year, or do they bench him to protect their pick?
I'd protect my pick. Because ideally, if you could imagine the kid from
AJ DeBanza?
Yeah, him. They're like if you got him as like a wing. To me, he's like I look at him as like a more skilled, potentially version of like a Pascal Siakam, right? Long arms, rebound, do it all, versatile. Like he's got a lot of different things to him. People forget, like Pascal is 6'9", long and a problem, but it runs like a deer, strong. Like I see that. So imagine if you put him with Sarr, now you're building something. So I would protect the pick because Trae is going to win you games. Just say what you want. Trae,
yeah, for sure.
Trae's going to help you win games, especially from the level that they're at. The question is, could Trae take you from a 50-40 win team if he could vault into a 50-plus win team? And that next stop never happened. They always stayed around a 500 type team with injuries and just different things. But he's going to get you. He's going to give you a chance. And so if
he'll win you 30 games a year.
Yeah,
he's going to win you 30 games a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, it's hard to say that for a lot of players. He is freaking good. It's just a matter of like between 30 and 41 games is the difference between an all-star and like the face of your franchise, perennial all-star. The difference between Trae Young and Anthony Edwards is those 11 to 15 games of like, hey, every year we're going to be above 500 if he just shows up.
Yeah.
For the Hawks, according to Shams, they're aggressively pursuing Anthony Davis.
Who?
Why?
Who?
Why?
The Hawks. Good idea?
Ugh.
If that's the method that they would choose to go, I say that I say this to say it's like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is still like ridiculously talented, right?
For what? 2 quarters till he hurts his little pinky?
What
pinky
I'm
winky?
communicating is this: Anthony Davis still has value, right? Right now, the Dallas Mavericks are in a trending younger place. They recognize Cooper Flagg is that dude. Let's build around him. Let's put him, if he's our Shea, let's put everybody 25 and 26 and younger. That's all we want. We want people on that timeline, similar to Wemby, similar to Shea, similar to Jokic. Jokic and Jamal Murray are like same timeline, right? Michael Porter Jr., they were all within a draft class of 3 to 5 years. And then you added in different guys, but that draft class of MPJ, Jamal Murray, and Jokic, they were all in that same window. So once you find a guy, if Cooper's that guy, you got to get people around him that are in that window. And so that's the thing. So wherever you're going, that's what you want to do for like Anthony Davis. Put him with people that are in a window. Atlanta, they feel like with him and Jalen Johnson, and maybe they're in a different window than with Trae. I think that's a fair assessment if that's the direction you choose.
I don't know. I just think his inconsistency is a issue for your offense and defense. It's like, hey, man, let's run these plays and let's run our offense through AD. Up, he gets hurt in the first quarter. Now we got to change. Up, he's back next game. Up, he's out halfway through the game. Like, that inconsistency sucks for the people off the bench and sucks for the consistency. Give me somebody who's not as talented as Anthony Davis, who's going to be consistently there. Give me 14 and 9 a game instead of AD's 32 and 15 once every 6 games. Like, it's too much for me at this point.
Anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we wrap this up?
New episode of Road Tripping.
Yes. Let's do it.
Now.
Let's do it.
Road Tripping. So.
There is a new edition of the Road Trippin Show. It's out now, but also the Richard Show. And you have TJ McConnell on this week.
We have TJ McConnell. We have some good content. Check out this clip.
TJ.
Jalen Brunson recently said that he could beat you up in a fight. It wasn't recent, it was a long time ago. With his roommate, Josh Hart, adding that TJ is the type of person you have to kill because he's not going to stop fighting you. Is this accurate?
Yes.
You would have to die before you lost the fight.
Yes.
Could you beat up Jalen Brunson?
Yes.
Bear down, brother. Bear down.
Did you guys know TJ was as funny as... Is that why you picked him?
Yeah, I did know TJ was funny, but I also knew he had a funny sense of humor, so I could mess with him.
Is it
He
just
went to U of
because-
A. It means
Yeah,
he's
he's
awesome.
I knew that was
But that's what I tried to explain to Allie today. I'm like, if you were going to play at Arizona, you had to be hyper, like, psycho competitive. You had to be a little goofy and crazy.
Okay, there's one guy that's not hyper competitive that went to
But
Arizona.
I'm just saying.
Who? You?
No, it's not him. But then you also have to be a little off. You're a little off.
Oh, he's that.
If you say, hey, Arizona, these guys are the ones I want, they're a little off. Channing's off, I'm off, Luke's off, Steve's off, Gilbert's
Andre
off.
Iguodala's
Andre Iguodala's off.
How much pride did you guys have listening to Snoop the other night on the broadcast and literally throw that out there as he was talking over the Steve Kerr moment?
Well, because you got to understand, Arizona is West Coast basketball. We are the preeminent basketball program on the West Coast. So you get the best players from LA come to Arizona. So Snoop, as an LA dude, knows that Arizona is that school, right? And
the Pac-12 tournament, Pac-10 tournament was in LA.
Yeah, and
It used to be in LA instead of Vegas.
And it's
for a
also
long time.
then you would watch these areas. So like Stanley Johnson from LA, we've had a lot. Miles Simon when they won the championship, modern day guy. So it's like he sees these LA dudes going to Arizona. So it's not like I don't know if he roots for them or anything like that, but he knows who they are and what they do. So he's been watching Steve since '85, right? And so that's just game recognizing game. So shout out to Snoop. But if you're on the West Coast, sadly, I still think we're the last school to win a national championship on the West Coast. And that was in '97.
No, UCLA won with Kevin, remember?
No, they didn't. They went to Final Fours. He didn't win a national championship. Gonzaga.
They didn't win with Russell
They went to
Westbrook?
3 straight Final Fours with Ben Howland. Ben Howland was at NAU prior to that. That's why I know him. And then Jamie Dixon took over there. So and that's part of the reason why I root against Gonzaga.
We say all that to say, The Richard Show with TJ McConnell, presented by
he's
Road
crazy.
Trippin, is out now. Go check it out on YouTube, supported by the NBA as well. Episodes will continue to drop and be released.
Yeah.
It is good, funny,
We have Gilbert's
hilarious
episodes
shit.
banned. We're not allowed to drop Gilbert's episodes.
Ever?
No, I think there's a statute of limitations.
That's
that we
unfortunate.
Have to, that we have to still, we can't until they cut off his ankle bracelet. So,
Wow. Okay. Moving on, because there's more trade news. The Bulls are allegedly interested in Zion Williamson. Thoughts on a fresh start in Chicago?
I think
I-
it. Go ahead, Channing. Hit him with it.
No, I was going to say a joke, and I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it to myself.
So what I would say is this. It's a fresh start for both sides. They've got Queen. That's why you do it through the draft. You get Queen. You got guys like Trey Murphy. You got these guys are all on the same timeline, right? Zion, now, Zion's one of those guys that if he gets a fresh start, if he gets put in a different space, then that's good for him. But New Orleans needs to, they need to remove themselves from that situation. And this happens every 5-7 years. You see a bunch of superstars move, right? We've seen it. So now you see Trae. Now you see Trae on the move. You saw Luka last year on the move. You see Zion's possibly on the move. Like, so you see Lauri Markkanen. We don't know. Giannis is on the move.
No, he's not.
You know what I mean.
We're gonna get to that
Can we
next.
shout out Lauri Markkanen? Like, I watched a lot of that game last night. The dude just plays basketball at a high level. And like a lot of people go, well, he's been on good teams. He's been on bad teams. He's been rebuilding. But like his consistency of production is wild to me. They're like, hey, we need you to play the 3. Okay. Hey, we need you to play the 4. Okay. We need to play you the center. All right, cool. And just plays basketball so good. It must be because he went to U of A, but that's neither here nor there. But like, dude, you just got to get, it's hard to do that. And then say, hey, play with all these young guys, but still produce like you're an all-star. And he does that every single year when he's healthy.
Perk, bringing you in, do you have something to say? Okay. The Bulls, this is what we were just discussing. The Bulls allegedly interested in Zion Williamson. How about a fresh start for Zion in Chicago?
I mean, look, Zion, here's the thing. I think a fresh start is good. At this moment, he needs a total reset. And I will say this, Zion, for the Pelicans, he have been productive, but we see this coming. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pelicans trade him. They moved him to the bench. He was coming off the bench for a little bit. Like, I think that relationship has ran its course as well. Zion needs to go somewhere with structure. He needs vets. He really do. He needs some good vets. He's already switched up his agency. Shout out to Bill Duffy, one of the OGs in the game. But yeah, I think it's time for a reset.
Miami would be
Zion
good for
again.
Zion.
Huh?
The Miami boot camp would be good for Zion.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's certain organizations, to Perk's point, that have a tremendous amount of structure, right? And again, and a lot of it's successful teams, but it's like you would look at San Antonio, you would look at OKC, you would look at Miami. There are certain places that Toronto that they're just built on a certain level of structure first and foremost. It's like you're this weight, you this time, you're this, then we get to basketball. There's certain places that are basketball first, and then we get to the rest of the bullshit, right? There's certain organizations because they have to. Typically, well-run, smaller market teams are like that, right? Dallas, in my opinion, was like that for many, 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 many years. They were just one of those, with Dirk, they were just a very structured organization, right? They might have had some screw looses with market times, but ultimately, they were very, very consistent with their approach. OKC has been forever. So I think Zion, in my opinion, the best place that he could go is not a place that's in a flux, in a transition. The best place for him would be a place with structure.
Fair. All right, we're going to move on. This is the last part of trade talk before we get into some more fun things. But Giannis says he has no plans to request a trade. He says, quote, "My plan is to be here for the rest of my career. If they don't want me, I'm not the one in charge. I'm an employee." Would the Bucks ever trade Giannis without him publicly requesting one?
never.
No.
Never.
What? That's not true. We just saw it with Luka.
Never.
That is.
We saw it with Luka.
Giannis is a pillar of the community and he will, even if he's at half strength or half engagement, he's still really effing good. I'm going to keep him because guess what? You can put people in the stands. He's going to have a statue of Giannis out front. Why would I ever trade him?
Okay,
you're not going nowhere.
Okay.
Be miserable here.
Can I give you a hypothetical? How many more years does Giannis have left on his contract? What if Giannis?
I think 2.
So what happens that year if Giannis is like, hey, I'm an employee here until I'm not an employee here, What happens if Giannis hits free agency? They don't want
What
him to hit
happened if
free
they
agency.
throw $400 million at him?
Well, I understand that, but if he wants to go someplace else, and what is it?
Yeah, but we're not gonna do the
320.
hypotheticals right now.
I'm just saying. You're saying, will they trade him? Giannis can. If Giannis
He signed a 3-year, $186 million extension in October of 23. So it runs through the 27-28 season. It includes a player option for that final year.
So
if he doesn't say I don't want to be here, I got to operate under that pretense.
So wait, just to be clear, he can leave after next season. He could opt out.
Yeah.
Okay. Believe what you want. Believe what you want.
But you're not going to do that.
This is what I'm saying. If Giannis doesn't want to ask for a trade, Milwaukee doesn't want to trade him, there is a scenario in which he could just leave in free agency. And if they come to Giannis with a extension and he says, no, I want to hit the free agent market, they have to then make a decision. Do they come to him and say, hey, if you're going to leave, can we work out a sign and trade? Or we can't let the greatest player in our franchise. No, he's the greatest player in their franchise history. He has all the records. Kareem might have been a greater player than him, but Kareem spent a large portion of his career with the Lakers. So I'm saying if you look at who had the best stretch as a Milwaukee Buck, it is Giannis. That's just
okay.
So you can't let him go for nothing. So would they trade him? Could they trade him? Yes.
But Richard, this is the thing. In 2 years, the Milwaukee Bucks could do a lot. They could make a lot of moves. And let's be real. The one thing that we can't do is criticize the Milwaukee Bucks as far as being aggressive at the trade deadline, being aggressive in the offseason.
That's not the question. Answer the question.
I'm talking.
Answer the
What's
question.
the question?
See, exactly.
If you're Milwaukee, do you trade him?
Without him asking.
I said no.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did say no.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for answering the question.
He's knocking at the door of being arguably the second greatest power forward of all time behind Tim Duncan. Real talk.
Yes, I've been said that. I think he's been.
Okay, so no, you don't just fucking trade Giannis. So again, I think that if Giannis, they done signed his whole entire family. Not only do his brothers got a contract, his kids got a contract. They do everything in their power to make Giannis happy. If you give the Bucks time, they're going to continue to be aggressive.
But it's about what he wants, man. It's not. We're not talking about that. What if he wants to change this? I don't know Giannis. I'm not speaking.
What if he wants to change this? It was the same thing that I said. And again, I apologize for calling Giannis a coward. But it's the same thing that I said before. If he just have some balls, and just say what he wants.
He just said what he wants. See, this is the thing.
Okay.
Perk, I love this. You guys finish this topic. You got 24 seconds. We're moving on.
This is what I would say really quick, Perk, and then I want to hear your words. Perk, maybe this is what he wants. Maybe he is saying, I'm just an employee, man. I'm going to hoop. That's his mindset. Everybody has a different mindset. We saying that he's saying this, but he wants something else. I don't know him, so I can't speak for him. So I got to take the man for his word. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, we are moving on, and we are going to talk about the Hornets, whether you like it or not. They are on the test because you've got a guest coming on the Richard Show. So try and get around this one. LaMelo Ball. He's not on the Richard Show. He came off the bench Thursday night for the Hornets against the Pacers. It was his first time not starting since January of 2020, which was his rookie season. He dropped 33 and 8, but the Hornets still lost by 2, 114-112. LaMelo was on a minutes restriction after an ankle injury and said he's willing to come off the bench and do whatever is best for the team. Is there more to this move to the bench, or is it the Hornets managing the injury?
Perk?
Oh, it's smoke over there. It's smoke over there. It's smoke over there. LaMelo, look, the Hornets are going to have to make a decision. It's either trade LaMelo or fire the coach. Those two guys don't see eye to eye. I'm telling you straight up, this is a fact. The energy is not there. the coach, he feels as if LaMelo is not his guy. We're talking about a guy who is the face of your franchise, the guy that put butts in the seat, the guy that is selling shoes, however you want to sugarcoat, and putting up the numbers. You move him to the bench, and look, reports came out that I believe it was like 2 games ago. This is my sources tell me that LaMelo, after a game, he yelled in the hallway, and I quote, "Fuck this motherfucker." The coach. They're not on the same page, period. One got to go. It's either the coach or LaMelo. That's just it.
Richard?
I look at it from a space of LaMelo, there's some things going on. So just hush. LaMelo, there's some things going on. Ja Morant, Zion Williamson. We just had a conversation about Giannis. We just saw Trae. We just saw Luka last year. Seems like a lot. We saw Kevin Durant get moved on, and he said this year he felt like he was a scapegoat, right, from last year. So we're seeing a lot of movement from superstars here in this last little bit. That's what I'm seeing here. So when we're talking about LaMelo, yes, when you have an all-star player, you would put him in the Trae Young category. They just never got over the hump. They never got over the hump, right? From like hey, you have talent, you have young players. They never got over the hump. So
did you just say, Richard? You put LaMelo and Trae Young together?
No, I'm saying as far as they never got to that next step for the franchise, so they're moving on. Again, also, LaMelo's been in the league far less than Trae Young. Trae Young never got them to that consistent, like, top 6 seed, so that, and whatever reason, they decided to move on. Injuries, different things. LaMelo has never vaulted his team to a playoff level team. So it's time to move on. It's more of a metaphor than it is a literal exact same example. They haven't elevated their team to that next level, so the team is moving on. So if that's the case, fine. Do you want to build around LaMelo? Same with Ja. You don't want to let go of Ja in Memphis. Like, that's a tough market, and you got a guy that puts people in seats. Same with Charlotte. But ultimately, you can't just use your franchise for putting people in seats. You need production. And right now, they do. Perk says, I don't know it, but if they have to make a decision somewhere in there, that's up for the franchise. But LaMelo, like, they got a good coach. LaMelo's a good player. It's just not leading to wins.
Whether or not Charlotte chooses to move on from LaMelo or not, we are, but we do have Perk, our resident investigator for the Charlotte Hornets and LaMelo Ball. Yes?
Allie, Trae Young. Our show has the names that have popped up: Trae Young, Ja, Zion, and now LaMelo. So I just, while Richard sits back all cool, like we don't fucking have a problem. But it's cool. Go ahead.
We're going to the top. We're going to the top of the league now. Okay, the Trailblazers and Rockets. They're set to match up. These are going to be some fun topics. I need you all to lean in. They're set to match up on Friday. On Wednesday, the Blazers beat the Rockets in a game that came down to the wire. Denny had 41. KD had 37. I want to do predictions first. Is Denny a lock for most improved this season? He's averaging 26, 7, and 7 per game. Last year, he was at 16, 7, and 3. He leads the league in assists off drives. Yes or no? Richard.
Why are you looking at me? I would say, in my opinion, yes. As a voter, if we were to have to vote right now in this moment, he would get my vote.
Perk, most improved.
I would say no. I give the slight nod to Austin Reeves.
Channing.
Yeah, girl, stop it. I've been saying this since week 1. Denny Avdija is the lottery pick. He was in the doldrums of Washington. They gave him away for a butter knife and 2 dirty buttons.
That's where people compete. Washington's been a struggle. Imagine watching it right now. Looking at him averaging 26, 7, and 7. If I was the owner of Washington, that's when you're kind of like,
come on.
What are we doing down there?
When you look at Denny play, he is demanding respect every single night, right? Obviously, I live in Portland. I watch the Blazers a lot. The culture of Portland has changed from this, obviously the Dame-led team to a Chauncey team. I don't know what Tiago Splitter has done to this team, but they are believing in each other. The vets are coming off the bench, doing great things. Guys are excited to play, but Denny's aggression day in and day out is making other guys mad. And that's that point when you become a all-star year in and year out. When you're getting to the free throw line 10 times a game and everyone knows you're going to be driving it and you still do it, brother has taken a huge step from just scoring to score to scoring to win and producing for his team. And the Blazers are not boo-boo this year.
All right, we're going to move on to our straight tripping segment because you mentioned Tiago. Yeah.
No, I was just going to ask, what country Denny is from?
Israel.
Not America.
Oh my God, Perk, I can't stand you because I'm answering all the questions. All right, Tiago Splitter instructed his team, if you guys saw the game last night, to foul Kevin Durant while up 3 with under 10 seconds to go. KD looked to the bench and said, "That's weak as fuck."
Yes, that's like
Is he tripping?
No, that's like walking Barry Bonds.
Do you like the strategy of fouling up 3 with the clock winding down?
Yeah, I'm not going to let you hit a home run if you're Barry Bonds. Walk your ass over there. Tiago Splitter's smart. Shout out Tiago, of course. KD wants a chance. He's like, that's weak, but our job is not to entertain you.
That's funny.
Heck yeah, that's funny. 100%.
That's winning basketball.
That's winning basketball.
That is winning basketball.
That's why, like, look, he knows. He mad. He knows. He wanted, because KD knew what was going. KD knew what was going to happen. He was going to raise up, and there's a 90% chance he was going to knock it down. I would say it too.
Tiago's laughing.
Tiago, I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Up 5?
I'm fouling you again. I'm probably fouling you, bro.
He pointed to him so fast.
Yeah. Look, high five. Look, Tiago don't care.
You know what's crazy about this is there's this new thing with the Portland Trailblazers that Tiago has implemented, and it's called the box. And it's, you know how there's either like a chain or coaches are giving out belts.
Yeah.
Well, it's the box because Tiago wanted to think outside the box. He actually tried making this box himself. It was trash. He went to Home Depot, this whole thing. He was like, you know what? I need people from the organization to come help me make this look beautiful. The players love it.
Yeah.
And it's to reward defense. I bet you in that moment, whoever it was that just fouled KD didn't have to do a single thing the entire game.
And
probably got their name in the box.
But
at the end of the season, they get a prize.
But this is the beautiful thing about the Kevin Durant thing. It's a beautiful look into strategy. It's a beautiful look into people's mindsets. Kevin Durant's like, oh, down 3, down 2, give me the ball. This is over. Oh, I got this. We're good. And the coach is like, you are so great, I'm not going to let you. How many times do you see him walk Shohei?
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Pissed me off. Fucking pissed me off.
Look at her. This is the exact reaction.
I understood it, but I'm like, bro, at one point he was like 1 of 17.
Yeah, and they're still
But
walking.
they're still walking.
Yeah, he the type of dude, it could be bases loaded.
God.
We're going to walk Shohei. We're going to give up one run.
I think I told you that during when I was like, why are they walking him again?
And it was like to give, but that's Kevin Durant. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like the same energy is like, yo, that's weak. Every Houston fan is like, yo, that's weak. Every Portland fan is like, thank God. Thank God. Same thing. If Steph was on that court, you would do the exact same thing. You fouling. Now, Ray Allen on that court, you're fouling. That's intelligent basketball. And you're as a player, if you're like, oh, let me trust my defense. As a player, if I do that foul, and I'm like, damn, I thought we could have did it at this. And then you see Kevin Durant being like mad, you're like, okay, maybe coach was right.
All right, we have a really good segment to get to, but first, who wins this matchup on Friday? Just give me the team.
What's
Portland
Blazers?
or Rockets? Blazers? Perk?
Yeah, I got the Blazers.
What do you think? Look at her.
Wait, what did you say, Perk?
I got the Blazers.
Yeah.
Blazers? Oh, wow.
Okay. What do you think?
Blazers?
What do you got?
Rockets.
Definitely going Rockets.
Okay, we're moving on. Because one of the comments that was very circulating in our most recent debate between the two of you guys about high school sports and USA basketball was, what are you sitting up for?
Yeah.
That was one of the comments, okay?
Yeah.
Perk, I need you to sit up for this. I need the energy to be exactly where it's supposed to be. Because our Road Rules segment for today's edition is our first ever high school basketball play. I want to know if this is an offensive foul. Whoa.
Hey, yo. Come on, brother.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Hell no.
That's what a receiver does. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
That's a smart play. Do they call? Yeah, that's a foul.
That is a smart
Hang
play.
on, is this the
Hell no, that's not an
play?
offensive.
What?
No, that's not an offensive foul. I'll do it again. Look at that.
What?
Hey, yo.
No, you're trying. Yes.
Richard. Stop it, Richard.
What was?
That's
Oh,
an
okay. Wait a
offensive
second. Wait,
foul.
Channing. Now, let's say hypothetically we played basketball from a different angle. As a person slashing into the paint, getting a pass, your job is to create space. Look at that, create space.
Hang on. What?
What about that is basketball? I know y'all are trolling.
I'm
Y'all
not
are trolling. That's a foul.
On who?
How?
The dude, the motherfucker with the ball.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
foul. You booty bumping
He was
fool.
receiving
Perk,
a catch.
is that an offensive foul?
No, but he did sit on his face.
Balls. Come on, man. That's
That's not-
nothing about that. You've been watching
that's
basketball
not
for
an
40 years, Perk. You ain't never
Bro,
seen that in your
just-
life.
That's not true.
That happened
just
to me at the
because-
rec. That's
just
how I broke my
because-
nose.
I've
Just
seen
because
it
we've
before.
never
I've done
seen
it
it
before.
doesn't mean that it.
Did you get called for an offensive foul?
No, as long as you get to the ball before them. If there was like a pass, like a skip, all you got to do is get to the ball before them, and then you just.
So it's an offensive foul.
No, it's a defensive
Yes.
foul. That is a defensive foul. Defensive foul.
Because he absorbed his asshole on his face?
What? No, he wasn't. Okay, let's go. If we want, wait. We're okay. We can do the humor, or we can break down the play. Let's see where his steps. Let's see where his
The
steps
humor
are.
comes
Richard,
from
what
the
is there to
reality of
break
the
down?
play.
I understand that, and sometimes you dunk on people and put your nuts on their face. Like it doesn't mean it's a charge or if it's an offensive
Richard.
foul.
Richard Allen Jefferson.
What?
This is not a basketball play.
Yes, he's trying to receive the ball.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I know you're
Can you slowly play it? Can you slowly? Y'all are trolling. This
Play
is
it again. Our screen is
unbelievable.
down. I want to play this.
I need to see.
No.
I need
He
to see
literally
Channing and
could
Perk's
just have got
reaction.
the ball. He
Bro,
is
you have never
going
jumped
like
that
this.
high in your life. Why would you even be saying what somebody could or couldn't do? You've never jumped
Richard,
that high.
I have dunked on people.
I didn't
Stop
say
it.
you dunked on people. I said didn't jump that high.
Richard, he just flexible. He's also a gymnast. He touched his feet at the same
See,
time,
now
dog.
he's trolling.
Look at this-
No,
look at that
you got to
foul.
watch
That
the
is an
play
offensive
again.
foul. That
No,
is
no.
out of basketball positioning.
No, that's not a foul. I'm sorry, it's not.
Perk, what did you call this? A foul or no?
He thought, listen, okay, let me phrase this. Okay, this is why it looks so awkward. He jumps up. He thinks the guy might jump also. So he's trying to create space because it's like just like how you jump into people and you hold it. But the guy takes a charge, so that body contact, he was looking to absorb contact. This is the part. Now go. Push play.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Dude wasn't even moving, Richard.
Yeah, he thought he
wasn't even
The guy
moving.
stepped up to take a charge. The guy stepped
They
up
called
to
this
take
an
a
offensive
charge.
foul? Yeah, they called it an offensive
Yes.
As they should.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that's
got
the
it
wrong
right.
call.
I don't believe the coach is arguing. That coach ain't never seen nothing like that in his life.
Honestly, you go to the rec.
foul. Perk, are you teaching your AAU team this?
Oh, he probably
Perk
is.
is gone.
Perk's gone?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. All right, we're going to end on this. We haven't done rankings in a while, so I want to get your opinions on this subject. Who are the best two-way players in the NBA today? I need your top three in order. If you would like me to give you some names, I will.
Shea, Jaylen Brown.
This is 1, 2.
I just in no order.
No, I said in order.
In no order.
no,
This
no,
is my
she-
three guys that I think like are getting it done. I know I'm gonna miss somebody. Shea, Jaylen Brown, and I mean it's hard not to say Wemby. Right? It's hard. I mean, it's almost like when you watch him play, I'll watch and Lauren goes, "Did he block that without jumping?" I go, "Yeah." I said, "That's not normal." I said, "That boy playing on a Nerf hoop." those three.
Pause for just 1 second. How not normal is him kicking those basketballs?
Him,
Like, real
come
talk.
on.
him touching 13 feet off vertical behind the offensive and defensive player on the possession and then blocking it. That to me is
That
more
one-
yeah, where it was just more of like Like there are two people playing. He's waiting. He shoots it, jumps up, hits 13 feet, grabs it, and goes. That's more crazy to me than him kicking the net. And I'm saying,
how do you practice a floater over him? You got to throw that bitch to the moon.
You saw the first time DeAndre Ayton shot it, got it blocked. Next time, a 7-footer got to do a quick teardrop. That's why I want to see him and Jokic. Him and Jokic are going to be so funny. They're like, because Jokic is going to figure it out, but he's also going to get blocked 900 times, and he won't give a damn. He'll just grab it and pass it and shoot it again.
Dude, it's wild.
Those
are my three.
My three, I would say Giannis.
One.
Ooh, yeah.
I would say Giannis, Wemby, and currently I would say Jaylen Brown. Those would be my top three.
No Shea?
No, I think
no Bam.
No. I would say Shea. I put Shea as maybe the most elite offensive weapon, and I think he's a very good defender, right? But like when you look at Cason Wallace, when you look at J-Dub, like and this is respect, their team is so elite, he might be the fourth best defender on their team, right? And so they have a lot of 2A. So offensively, he's a monster. But I'm like, Shea typically can't win you a game just on the defensive end. That's what I consider a two-way player, right? I think Jaylen Brown can make enough defensive plays and rebounding. I think Giannis does it, and I think Wemby does it. Just on the defensive end, they're the reason why you won that game. Their offensive production can be the reason why. I think Shea is the most consistent basketball player we've seen maybe in a generation, right? It's literally Bron and him, in my opinion, as a consistent of like, KD had that 25-point game of streak. I don't even know who it ended against, but it was like, yeah, then you had the 20 points now is with Shea, and then Bron, his 10-point-a-game streak. So when I look at Shea, I look at him as like an offensive juggernaut and is a very, very good defensive player.
Is there a sleeper? Can I get one sleeper pick?
Mm-hmm.
And he's had a good sections this year, is Kawhi Leonard.
Yes. They
Kawhi
just got
Leonard
off to such a
times where I go, holy shit. And I go, okay, he's back to normal.
Yeah, he's back to normal now. Facts.
With that said, I do want to give a shout out to one of our favorite people, Channing and Devin, when they were here during the finals and we were doing a bunch of lives. You were on the road doing your job. We stopped at MBI, so it's Manhattan Beach Vintage in downtown Manhattan Beach. Channing, you got a ton of fun vintage gear for your family. Devin ended up rocking your jersey, a Nets jersey that was in there. And Mike, who runs it, hit me up the other day, and they made these awesome sweats out of Devin Harris's jersey. It was really cool. But he is a fan of Road Trippin', and he thought that you guys were funny when we went in. Little did he know we were about 9 glasses deep. But nonetheless, support from them, and we love them. They're awesome.
Dude, they're great.
He's awesome. So a quick shout out there. Don't forget 10% Road Trippin' 10 off of Chosen Family Wines. That's another edition of Road Trippin'.